paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
Well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
And welcome in, everybody. So we are back. It's Brainstorm Brewery, and I'll tell you, we have been doing some pre-casting tonight. We are fired up. A combination of good news, bad news, talking about people who wronged us 15 years ago, grudges that never go away. Look, either way, we are here, and we are ready to talk about Unfinity.
Why would you reference? Why would you reference After Hours that they can only listen to if they go to patreon.com/BSB and give us $20 a month, which will give us access to these handsome drinking glasses, the playmats, the tokens, the end of the year rewards, which they should get locked in for. Why would you reference that? Be like, oh, you missed it. What if this is our first time ever listening to this podcast and they're like, wow, talking about something I can't have access to unless I go to patreon.com/BSB and an ad pitch in the first 30 seconds of the podcast? I'm turning this cast off.
Amazing.
Because it's been 10 years that this cast is going and this is my first time listening.
Amazing. Thank you, Jason. I'm sorry, everybody listening. We are off the rails already. I warned you, though, in my defense. We started, and now we're going to talk about Unfinity and Acorns. So for those who don't know, I don't even know where to start.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. So they gave some details about the new Unset coming out in April 1st, 2022, April Fool's Day, Unfinity. There's a lot of stuff about it. Essentially, the relevant part is that silver borders no longer exist on new cards. Because they realized, and this is interesting because this is something we've talked a lot about on this cast and something that I've written about in the past, that unstable, and I didn't mess with unsanctioned, but unstable was essentially a black border set. Like the majority of the cards would work in black border, but by the time that set came out, even Commander was exploding, and no one really cared about silver bordered cards anymore because you couldn't play them in Commander unless your group let you. But like generally, if it's just not legal in Commander, people don't tend to do it because it's just a hassle, right? Mm-hmm. They just don't build their decks like that. So the product just kind of missed on that front because it existed, when they made silver borders, it was a very different, very, very different Magic world as to what we have now. But, long story short, a lot of the cards could have worked in black border. So they recognize that as well. And now they're coming out with Unfinity. And the way they've decided to bridge this gap is they're removing the silver borders. However, you'll remember the hollow mark stamp at the bottom of a card. And JJ will put up the images here on screen. But that is the counterfeit stamp, the hollow foil stamp, whatever you want to call it. Instead of just having those on all the normal cards, whatever, instead of it being normal, they're going to have two different versions of it. They're going to have
Corbin,
a regular...
I got to stop you here, because this is, there's precedent for this. The Secret Lair has already done this.
Yep.
The cards that are reskins of other cards have a triangle stamp.
Right.
So, if you look at the Arcane Secret Lair, there's the card, quote, round 2, where it's Vi. Mm-hmm. And that Seize the Day. That card has a triangle stamp, which is a reference to the fact that, hey, you can't play 4 copies of Round 2, and you can't play 4 copies of Seize the Day. This is a unique card between these two versions. So there is precedent for there being a different stamp at the bottom of the card, just like there's precedent for Wizards making poor decisions when it comes to how they distinguish their products from each other.
Got him.
Well, yeah. So that's the long and short of it there, is that the new product is going to have some normal stamps and some acorn stamps, because acorn squirrel unset, squirrels casual. That's how we're going to
call this set unnecessary. Remember Morrow was like, I tried for years to have a third unset and I was unsuccessful. And then they're like, wow, we
3 and 4
fart
years.
one of these out every year and put borderless shocks in it so that everybody has to buy it.
Well, So the thing is,
it's
acorn
unskippable.
Stamp, the acorn stamp means it's essentially silver bordered. It doesn't work within the normal rules of Magic. However, if it has the regular stamp, even though it's in an unset, it's Commander legal, it's Legacy legal, it's Vintage legal. It's just legal in Magic, and that's Eternal legal, and that's what they're doing with unsets now. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You know, I thought if Ikoria and
unless
Mutate...
they have something overpowered, though, like, that has consequences in Eternal formats forever.
So does Uro. So does Oko. Those whatever, right? Like, that doesn't... To me, that's not any different. That's also True Name Commander.
My biggest complaint with this is that, like, Timmy's and parents will buy these cards on Amazon or whatever with credit cards, and then Timmy or Tammy or whoever will get accused of cheating by their playgroup, and then there will be refunds on these cards, and refunds are a very annoying process to deal with. Store-wise, like, it's the same reason that I dislike the oversized cards. I dislike things that cause process exceptions in the systems. Like,
it's too late for that, though.
Yeah, I mean, the ship has sailed.
Like,
but...
they can print not gold border. They can print silver border cards for the cards that need it, and then they can print gold border cards for cleave in half or whatever the black rare, like,
saw in half, yeah.
Right, sorry, cleave is reserved for cards with brackets. My bad.
Yeah. Well, the point is, I thought
it's AFR, a very special kind of kicker.
Yeah, I thought AFR was when they really, I'm not going to say jump the shark, because I think dungeons were fine and cool, but contraptions, I thought, were a great mechanic in Unstable. Like, legitimately, that is a very fun draft format.
Yeah, it's a self-contained thing, yeah.
And it has good mechanics. But so then we get to Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, and they bust out dungeons. And if you can do dungeons, you can sure as hell do contraptions, right? And it's also interesting because contraptions were probably a large part of the inspiration for dungeons. And now we have them all in playable forms.
I feel like sagas were the inspiration for dungeons.
Maybe. Yeah, that also makes sense, right? But they've been exploring this space, and I think it's cool from a design perspective.
Corbin,
I think it makes sense for the product.
Would you say that they were venturing into the dungeon?
I wouldn't, but
no.
You might.
No, man. Hell no.
Venturing into a dungeon is just exploring a space. Transitive property.
Oh, gosh.
Therefore, astronauts are dungeon explorers. Whoa.
And so astronauts are in Unfinity. We did it.
We did it.
So the one thing that is going to be a hit with this set, and even though they're doing their best to run this sort of entire concept into the ground these days, but the full art basic lands, or as they call them, spacek lands, because the entire theme of Unfinity is a carnival or amusement park or something set in space. And these full art lands are pretty damn cool. The ones that have the planets on them, just this art is insane, y'all. If you go look at it, JJ should be flashing it up on the screen here. They also have borderless shock lands that look amazing.
So
we have a billion of these now, but these are cool.
That's the thing, is that, like, basic lands have always been, over the past, like, 8 years, like, this FOMO-y, like, you have to get the cool ones now, because these are the best ones. These are the cool ones, and then 6 months later we forget about them. Like,
that's why we tell you on this cast time and time again. People say, "What version of basic land should I invest in?" And we say your favorite, because it doesn't matter what the coolest is of the week. They are going to make something different, and people cannot agree on what is the best basic,
right?
With the exception of Guru, until you weren't allowed to like Guru. So, like, just don't invest in basics.
And like, there are some exceptions to that rule, which are super weird. Like, the Godzilla basics did super well. Like, the Godzilla Secret Lair ones. Exploded in popularity. Those ones are super popular and very expensive, and they're great. But it's, like, so hard to tell what's going to be a hit and what's not.
I think it's more like, the basic lands are sort of like low. Like you said, I also don't. So I had a friend who asked me if he should invest in them because they looked really good or whatever, and I was like, well, I mean, you could. On the other hand, I have about 6,000 full art lands from original Zendikar that are worth shit, and I've had them for 10 years.
At the time, you're paying 25-50 cents on them, thinking you were smart, and then they're like, just kidding.
Oh, and there's, like, other places to put your money. Like, we talk in this cast, and all three of us pick a card or product every week that we think will do better than these basic lands. So it's like, am I gonna should I buy all these cool unset lands? Or should you just buy all of whatever the best secret lair is, which at the time last week I talked about is the Dracula one, or the...
I use unglued basics, and they are still $5. And they've been $5 for 20 years.
And the Dracula basics, that's a thing too, right?
Right, and so like the Dracula basics could be the next Godzilla basic. They could be the ones
isn't
that
Nick Cage gonna play Dracula in a movie? So as soon as their Nick Cage lands, like that's gonna be a thing. As soon as someone shows up at the LGS with Nick Cage's autograph on a Dracula land, it's over for these hoes, right?
Yeah, the point is, don't buy the land. The lands are really cool. I think the shock lands might do a little better here, but the reality is,
but they did secret lair shocks too, and the people
that's
my
point. Insane. Yeah, we've got secret lair shocks. You've got expedition shocks. You've got another round of expedition shocks or whatever. Like
shocks are the new basics. So not only are they giving people shocks to collect, they are bringing the price of shocks down.
Yeah.
Eventually they will. Everyone's like, this will shrug off every reprint.
They have so far.
Eternal Witness will be $9 forever.
I mean, both of these things can be true, right? Like they can. We'll see.
The way that they interact with the secondary market is they acknowledge it by increasing availability without decreasing price that much, which is kind of what everybody wants.
No, that's what nobody wants.
That's what nobody wants.
Well,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying because you're saying people don't want. Yeah, you're saying
it's what everybody. Yeah.
People don't want to lose money on their stuff. It's a paradox where everyone wants every card to be $1, but they don't want to lose money on their cards. Blah blah blah. So
everybody says, I wouldn't care if they reprinted everything. I'd be fine if every card was $0.25. And then that person extrapolates their own experience and belief to every other Magic player, and they are so wrong, so very wrong. That there's always that like the person who thinks they're the special snowflake of Legacy. Like, I got a set of dual lands, I got all 40. They can reprint them into the ground. It's like, yeah, you spent $10 on those 30 years ago. Like. Nobody thinks about like the 19-year-old kid who just spent $150 on his first plateau and is like, this is my life savings. Like,
well, and of course people want to open, it's a classic, people want to open $100 card in their booster, but they want every card to be $1.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this a million times. You don't need to beat it to death, but the reality is the market is what Wizards listens to, not Magic Twitter. And the market says, bring it on, we'll buy it all.
It is insane how many Magic players will continue to buy secret lairs in the secondary market.
In the secondary market.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's really weird because I see an increasing number of, like, I've tweeted a few times over the past few weeks about, like, I bought this collection, and people are like, I wish I could buy collections like that, and I'm like,
you fucking can.
I was like, have you maxed out? Well, not even that, but I was like, have you maxed out on the best secret lairs? And they're like, no. And I'm like, then you missed out on your collection buy opportunity because there are a lot of secret lairs that are just like click button free money from Wizards. There's some that are stinkers for sure, but like just learning to identify the correct ones is increasingly becoming the correct
Honestly,
play.
If you just buy 10 of every one, you kind of can't miss.
Jeez.
Though.
You spend a lot of money doing that, but
you index, right?
Yeah.
You don't even have to be smart if you just.
So the current math right now with the current bundle, I'm not joking. It's called the bundle. Because they have the bundle for like the non-foil, and then they have the bundle for the foil. But for this one, you can bundle them both and get the commander deck, like the Gavin commander deck. So they call it the bundle. It is $550. And you're allowed to buy 60 of them, which is like roughly $16,000, I think.
How you're going to be spending $16K, DJ?
I am not. There are some of these secret lairs in this bundle that I'm not a big fan of, so I'm staying away from those ones, which increases the average cost of your secret lair. Like, I'm buying certain ones, I'm maxing out on certain ones, like the Exquisite Blood Phyrexian Tower one is nuts. Yep. That's like the best one by far.
Your math is weird to me. There's $550.
Something like that.
And you can buy 60 of them. That's $30,000. No, it's not. It's
amazing.
$33,000.
$33,000. Yes,
$33,000. Okay.
Whatever, man.
Whatever.
I think once you pass the 5 digits, it just kind of doesn't matter.
Shut up.
Agreed.
It's my car.
Carry the zero.
It is my car.
And Jason has a nice car. I want the Arcane Secret Lair. The Arcane Secret Lair might be the first one I buy. And maybe if I'm at it, I may as well buy the Dracula one too. Can we talk about though?
Can we have
Wizards...
a Kale card for Christ's sake?
I think that you will have to pry legendary creature rights to champions from Riot's cold dead hands, because they'll do a crossover.
Gaddock Teemo when?
They do have they do actually have their own card game.
They do have their own card game.
They don't monetize it much. It is extremely free to play friendly. So I don't think that they care too much about like Magic existing and trying to be a competitor.
It is Rune terrible.
It's what? What's wrong with
It's a
LOR?
great game objectively.
It's very good.
I don't play the game, but it is a good game.
But Rune terrible is a good pawn.
It is.
It's not bad.
I'll give you that.
So one of my favorite challenges that I watched a streamer who plays Runeterra, and every champion has are effectively legendary creatures, right? They have their own like level up animation. So they're effectively double-sided cards. When you fulfill the condition, they flip.
Yeah.
There's a small subset of champions that level up twice. And a streamer did a challenge to get 5 champions in play, the majority of which level up 3 times, and then he fulfilled every champion's level up condition all at once with a single card. And he called it the Snyder Cut because it triggered like a 10-minute cutscene of all champions level ups 3 times.
That's brutal.
That's a nice piece of content, though.
Yeah, he had to make his opponent sit through like 15 minutes of cutscenes, but he's like, I did it! We got the Snyder Cut!
That's awesome. So let's talk about these secret layers in the sense that Wizards has been selling commander decks for a while, and a long time, right? This is the first direct-to-consumer commander deck available. I believe that that's an accurate statement. We have yet another example. Remember when the first secret layer came out? I went on this podcast and ranted about how terrible I thought they were as a product and how they were hurting LGSs and all that stuff. Well, guess what? That's still all true.
Corbin doesn't care anymore because his LGS closed because he was right about everything he said, but now he doesn't care because he doesn't have to own an LGS anymore.
A lot of what Jason said there is true, but now it's even a step further. Now the commander decks are coming straight from secretlayer.wizards.com. I mean,
I'm glad my daughter's not around to hear us podcast because I can't say secret without her saying secret tunnel, which is just cute but annoying. Secret layers.
I have not bought a secret layer because of that
anymore.
Because of that, I've never bought a secret layer on principle.
I bought all the Walking Dead ones, but I didn't tell anybody I bought all the Walking Dead ones because everyone on Twitter was like, so you support everything Negan did because you're buying this product, huh? You're a real life fan of Negan, is that it? And I'm just like, I'm not going to tell anybody I bought these, but I bought the mix.
I mean, we're so far. I don't even know of all the secret layers that exist these days, but I might give in. I might buy the Arcane one. I do like League of Legends.
Sometimes my LGS is out of stuff, and I have to buy a secret layer from my LGS to get a card. I literally spent $40 because I needed a Void Slime. So they're useful.
That's a mood.
Yeah,
it's a good looking Void Slime. Whatever, I like it.
So DJ, I'm gonna ask you this question. You have more experience with these secret layers than I do,
sure.
And Jason, if you followed the prices on this. But so if someone was interested in buying Secret Lair Arcane, the options available to them are Secret Lair Arcane Lands, Secret Lair Arcane Lands Foil, Secret Lair Arcane Foil Edition, Secret Lair X Arcane. Do you recommend that people just get the top end, basically the foil, the whatever the best offering of the product is?
The best offering is the best price.
As a general rule, the non-foils are you asking for like a player or asking for like to flip?
Well, let's say from somebody who we're talking about people buying secret layers to flip them and make money. Which of these do you think is better for that purpose? I think for a player,
the non-foils.
It's your preference, but
the non-foils. I think that you pick like the 2 to 3-ish best performing ones with the highest amount of near guaranteed return, and then you go hard on those ones. So like that happened to be the Godzilla one, the Godzilla land previously if you got lucky. The Walking Dead one was the first one where I'd maxed out on them and I was like, oh, these are just money. Like that was when I learned that secret layers were just really good money. The one with the worst name ever was very good. The Our Show is on Friday, Can You Make It? The band poster theme one. That one was pretty good. It petered out after a little while. But I think it still has good long-term utility because it has like Gamble and Wrath of God and Preordain and Nature's Lore.
It's because it's got legit good cards.
None of them are misses. The Arcane one that has Rhystic Study, like you can pay $30 and you get a Rhystic Study and like a few other fine cards. Like the fact that they added what is it, like Duress or whatever?
Duress.
And no, that Duress is sick. Are you kidding? No, that's a good
Yeah, but
Duress.
it's a Duress though.
That doesn't matter. That card is standard legal till 2029 or whatever.
Standard.
What?
Oh. Standard paper. It does affect prices still a little for sure, but just the idea of thinking about standard is just funny, right?
Like that Duress is still like a permanent mainstay of Magic.
No, I completely agree with you.
Like the Seize the Day is good. Like you're effectively buying a Rhystic Study and getting a bunch of other cards.
That's not bad. Yeah.
The Crows and Grip I don't love, but it's there. So like if you're an Arcane fan, I would buy as many of the non-foil one as you can reasonably do. After again, this is assuming you're flipping. Max out on Dracula, Exquisite Blood, whatever that one is, and then go for the Arcane one. As sort of a secondary priority. But again, like if you're just a player and you're like, I want cheap Magic cards, then like, yes, get one. I don't love the foils, but they're there.
They're tougher.
They're tougher to move. They're curlier. And like the prices on foils, as we've talked about a lot, do not generally diverge drastically from their non-foil counterparts. So like you're losing a lot of
that. The fact that it doesn't in other cards is informing what happens in the secret layers. It used to be an expectation that a foil was double or better.
Yeah.
And now with the all the crazy boosters they do with the collector booster, the foil is worth exactly as much as the non-foil. It's the extended art set are the rare ones, and that's what is diverging more.
Even then, it's like very iffy. Like throughout all of Vegas, when I was buying cards for 40 hours over 3 days, our general standard procedure, there's some exceptions here, was that like extended art cards and regular foil versions of those cards go in the same buy pile as the regular version of that card. Like there is a $1 to $2 difference, whatever, lower liquidity, high volume. We have a 2-hour line to buy with us. We need to be efficient at roughly like, we need to spend like at least a couple $1,000s per person per hour, like buying Magic cards.
Yep.
So like, that was my standard protocol. And my point here is like, nobody was like, well, actually, nobody else who was selling me cards was like, well, actually, it's an extended art. There is an increasing general understanding of like, okay, these are the same. Like the foil prestige is dying. You obviously can't put like a foil extended art Tor brand in the same pile as regular one because that's like a $30 card for whatever reason. But like,
have you read Tor brand?
It's good. It's good. I don't know if it's 30x good or whatever, but like it's good.
Yeah. So yeah, there are some that are 30x, but that's the extended art and the foil. Foils are not special anymore.
Yes. So
don't pay more for the foil secret layers.
There you go. That's good advice. The last thing I'm going to note on this.
I just repeated something DJ said, and then I had the last word, and Corbin's like, that's great advice from Jason, current MTG finance expert.
We tied that up nicely. I'm just going to add here that this is a big product for Wizards. This crossover with League of Legends with Riot. Arcane is huge for League of Legends and Riot. It's been massively popular. And the image that they have on the Secret Lair website to advertise this is in 360p. And this is ridiculous. It's 2021. Somebody at Wizards or Riot has to know how to make a graphic in high definition.
It is like, okay, so it is cool that like Wizards got an Arcane crossover, but like I have a general feeling that like Riot's gonna do an Arcane crossover to anybody and anyone.
Oh, right? This was great for Riot, yeah.
Like I don't think that it was some exclusive, cool secret handshake contract where like, we got the Riot partnership. Yes, no, that they're handing them out. It's like, yes, we made Twitch affiliate. Yes, we did it. We succeeded. It's like,
I just wanted to complain about the terrible image graphic.
That's fine.
Thing they're trying to sell. But yeah, no, I mean, look, what Riot has done with Arcane. And there are so many people who watch and enjoyed Arcane who do not play League of Legends, who do not play Legends of Runeterra or Valorant or anything else.
Kojima watched it.
He did.
And he gave it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
They did a great job. The bar is set for Wizards of the Coast's Netflix show that
I don't think
has
that's
been
true.
in development.
I don't think that's true.
Everybody is already pre-mad at the Magic show for not being as good.
Yeah, they are.
The bar is not there for Wizards. Like they don't have a bar. Like
You're right, but it should.
They should have done a movie in the 90s, honestly. Like they promised in Inquest magazine when they had the poster with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Karn.
Talk about holding
and
grudges.
Bruce Campbell.
I was just gonna say Corbin's mad at his high school math teacher. Jason's got like a list of the producers for the Magic
How dare
movie.
you squander the good lore of the crew of the Weatherlight? How dare I not get a Lawrence Fishburne Krovax and a Paul Giamatti Stark of Wrath? You bastards!
You know there's a Matrix secret lair coming when those movies come out, right? Gotta be. There's gotta be.
I hope it's just one more Matrix movie that I didn't ask for.
Oh, it's probably gotta be 2 or 3.
I hope not.
I'll go watch it. I'm excited.
3 Matrix movies was enough. Matrix, the second Matrix, and the Animatrix.
One Matrix.
And the second one was good, and the Animatrix was
Second
good. I wish they were talking
Animatrix
about
was
making
good.
a third Matrix movie called like Revolutions or something like that, and I'm glad they didn't make that.
Okay, yeah. Good point. It stopped with Reloaded.
Yeah, I'm glad it stopped with Reloaded and then the Animatrix. I'm glad that's what they ultimately went with. That
makes
a good
sense.
choice.
That makes sense, yeah.
Not to do a third Matrix movie that sucked. Glad they didn't.
Great, thanks for that. Let's move on to Breaking Bulk.
Breaking Bulk time. Breaking Bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, Breaking Bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking Bulk. The end.
Normally you do Breaking Bulk 15 seconds into the episode. Now you're like, we're going to do Breaking Bulk and transition immediately into your favorite segment, Pick of the Week. We got nowhere to go. We're up against it. This is what happens when Corbin drives the bus. He lets everybody out at the last stop.
Jason, how would you relate the Arcane show to Speed, the movie Speed?
No.
All right, we just recorded for After Hours. Jason relating the plot of Arcane to the movie Speed. I don't know about most of you listening.
You asked me to do that. Don't act like that's a thing I do. That's a thing that was requested.
I did,
You delivered. It was requested, and you delivered just like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
He didn't deliver. All those packages end up on the island.
Not the one important one.
The volleyball.
Are you talking about Tom Hanks' dick? Are you talking about Tom Hanks' dick, Corbin?
He shows up. He's like, "Hey, it's me. I brought my dick," and she's like, "I got remarried." He's like, "I was there for 6 months."
Well,
I was on that island for 6 months, and you got remarried. She's like, "Look, you played a ton of characters where Meg Ryan was engaged to a guy, and then you banged her, and it's about time it happened to you. You sleepless in Seattle. You've got mail, mother."
Thank you, Jason.
I just don't like that trend in movies where it's like, it's always Bill Pullman or somebody like that that's like super cool with it. Meg Ryan's like, "Yeah, I know that we're engaged and all, but I've been exchanging emails with the guy who closed my independent bookstore." And he's like, "Well, go. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm a super cool dude." I love getting cheated on. This is amazing. What a trend in movies.
More of that to come in After Hours if you're interested. Patreon.com/BSB. Now I'm being
censored. Stop paywalling my great rants and calling it bonus content.
No, Jason, I was gonna be fine with that being in the episode. I just wanted JJ to censor his into blank his blank, and then the rest I would have been fine with.
Well,
so
that's still a thing that can happen.
I am of that opinion.
Well,
we'll let JJ. You know what? Everybody listening at home.
If you bleep out his to blank his blank, people might think I'm saying
That's fine. They can
or even his. So like, it could be all kinds of things that people think I'm saying, and I'm not some sort of dirty pervert that would say, for example, it's okay if you go Tom Hanks's. So, don't put words in my mouth. I'm not Meg Ryan.
There you go, everybody. More of that. If you just go listen to the After Hours. It's time for Breaking Bulk. I have a Double Masters Black Uncommon that was originally printed in a previous set. I don't want to tell you.
Is it Double Masters?
Is it Oval Chase artifact thing?
Jay just knows it.
You picked it recently.
I actually thought that might be true, DJ, and I looked at the sheet. And I haven't.
You sure about that?
No, I'm not, because I was on the wrong sheet. Yeah, I'm dumb. Fuck, dude. Fuck.
Yes!
I went and checked, but I was on the pick of the week. God damn it.
Amateur hour over here.
God damn it. All right, I got a new one
for some of us, I related two completely unrelated franchises seamlessly, and Corbin's like, oh!
Spreadsheet page.
Hey, excuse me, I don't think I've had this Breaking Bulk as my pick of the week ever. So
okay, listen though, it's not Oval Chase Daredevil. It's a Black Uncommon from Double Masters that was originally printed in a different set.
Who said it was Oval Chase Daredevil?
It's not anymore.
It's not anymore. That wasn't Oubliette, right? Oubliette wasn't.
Yeah, it was Oubliette. Oubliette is $1, and the card actually works pretty sweet these days. Now that they've got words to work on it.
I've had my Shivan Dragon Oublietted too many times in Chandelar, when it would have been a mana cheaper to terror it. And you know what? I don't appreciate that.
Fair enough. All right, Jason, what do you got?
I have a white card that was in Time Spiral Remastered that was previously printed in a different set. It's a white uncommon. Yeah, you don't like it when I do it.
He would have given it away if I said Arabian Nights or what.
Well, guess what? It was in Time Spiral Block. You know that much, right? White uncommon worth almost $2 on TCG Player.
It was originally in Time Spiral Block?
That's where most Time Spiral Remastered cards came from. Yes, Corbin.
It was originally in Time Spiral Block.
You gonna tell us what's that?
Do I have to? Are you stumped?
I don't think he has to.
Okay.
Planar Chaos.
So it's going to be a weird color shift.
Not necessarily. Yes, this is a color shifted card.
Mana Tithe.
No.
Mana Tithe was common. Every time I think of white time shifted cards, my mind always goes to Children of Corliss, but that was also common.
This is not a creature.
Salt Blast.
It's a time shift or color shift of a green card.
Salt Blast.
No.
No, shut up.
Wait, was Salt Blast a Desert Twister?
That's what I was trying to think of. It's not, though. I just looked the card up.
Salt Blast is like deal 3 to a tapped creature or something?
No, it's destroy target non-white.
Let's summarize.
I did think it was the... I did think Salt Blast was the Desert Twister, which is an uncommon in Planar Chaos. I was close.
You're going to say, and then I'm going to be mad for not knowing it. What is it?
Rebuff the Wicked, which is... it's a Void Fate.
Yeah, that card's cool.
That is a good one.
A Void Fate won me a game of Mental Magic when Giant Growth did the exact same thing.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, Rebuff the Wicked. It's like at least $1 everywhere. It's 2 printings on that. It's a white counterspell, and it's the kind of counterspell that I like in EDH, where like you're not going to counter someone's commander and then they can never play it. This is something that just keeps them from messing with your stuff. It's white protection. It counters a spell, but really what it does is a very white thing, which is keep your stuff from getting messed up. Good card. Love it. 1 mana, easy to keep up. No one expects counterspells out of white. Well, Corbin did when he said Mana Tithe, but I mean, no one else.
I was going to say you play both, and then they have no idea what's going on. They can't tap out. They can't target your stuff. Their mind is blown. So I have a multicolor rare from Ravnica Allegiance.
What are the
rare stuff?
What are the colors?
That,
you have to give us
there's
the colors.
that's literally one card in the set. I'm pretty sure there's like 2 or 3, whatever.
There's
but like,
ton. A multicolored rare.
In Ravnica Allegiance, that is $1. I'll give you the price. It's $1. This is a card that was a bulk rare, has crept up to $1, and
How many printings?
it's the only printing. I am 99% sure of that.
Okay, so dollar rares and Ravnica Allegiance. Go.
Well, all the dollar rares I know are like Bedevil, which has like 9 printings. Like what
I
would
will
make
tell
something
you-
be $1?
I will tell you, it's a split card, so it's one of the like A and B, or like
Intubate
it's
incubation.
like a fire and ice kind of like split.
Intubate incubation.
Is it one?
It is not either of whatever. It's not whatever Corbin said, and it's not the is it one. It's not
Is it
explosion.
Revival Revenge?
It is Revival Revenge.
The Orzhov one.
This is a card that I have lost to in limited many times when I played that format on Arena. It is a split card from Orzhov. It does. Let me turn my head real quick to read it, like I see some players do. 2 mana, return target creature.
That's so
whatever,
dumb. It would be so much easier to
I know.
just turn your monitor.
Yep.
Unplug your monitor, turn it, plug it back in, update the drivers, go into your settings, put it in a vertical mode, but no, you're going to turn your head like an idiot.
The real reason this card is worth $1 is not because whatever the 2 mana revival effect is, but is Revenge, which is a 6 mana sorcery that says double your life total. Target opponent loses half their life rounded up. This is just a big swingy card. Like Soren's Vengeance is also $1 for the same.
This is an 8% of all the Selenia Dark Angel decks, so we know why DJ likes it.
I actually don't play this card in Selenia, but maybe
you should.
Wait, if you're at negatives, do you go to double? Like, if you're at negative 37, do you go to like negative 74? Is that how that works?
Yes, that's what double means. Also, the second your life total is negative, you lose. They changed that. You can't just hang out at a negative life total as long as you have priority. And
well, you can if you have Phyrexian Unlife in play, which that deck does all the time.
Okay. Then you'll get a bunch of poison counters when you play this.
No, because that's only it's only.
Oh my god! Stop
damage.
Correcting me. I'm just trying to get through this episode.
Phyrexian Unlife only triggers on damage, my friend. That's why you can add Naws while it's in play and just.
It's broken.
Go fire.
Phyrexian Unlife is kind of broken.
So yeah, this card is $1. I get it in bulk rares all the time, and then you can
because it's a bulk rare.
You list it for 99 cents. That is.
I get this bulk rare in bulk.
If you want, hey, if you have a pile of these and you want to ship them to me for 8 cents, please do.
You pay 8 cents on bulk rares.
Mm-hmm.
And then you tell people like, oh, this is an 8-cent bulk rare, and then you're like, I just got 2 Sarah Sanctums in bulk today.
I didn't pay 8 cents on those. I picked them out and paid $150 each.
Why did you pick them out?
Because the
right thing to do.
I just can't. My God.
I'm not gonna finish the sentence.
This is Brainstorm Brewery. We're like, I don't know. You pick your own cards, guys, on the collection. Well, my uncle left the country and he told me to sell these cards for him, and I'm like, oh boy. These are all 8 cents. Sorry. Yeah, you see when it doesn't have the colored expansion symbol? Yeah, that you see how the little portcullis there is black? Yeah, this Mox Diamond is common. Yeah. Common as dirt. We did it. We did a Brainstorm Brewery. That's what it's called. When you rip
that's what it's.
on
I don't think that's not. That's the opposite of what it's called. Considering that all of us have gone back to people and told them when we found cards worth money, with a lot of money in their bulk to pay them for. I always pick through people's stuff before I buy their collections.
And then you leave the guy his cradles in bulk for 2 years.
That's I do. Like sometimes you get sold 30,000 cards at once, and they're in boxes, and it is what it is. But if I can, I go through.
You're supposed to go through them. That's your job.
No, they're supposed to go through them.
No, dude, no one's going through 30,000 cards when someone walks into a store and says, "Can I sell 30,000?" Sure, let me spend the next 3 hours looking. No,
not that same day, but that same weekend.
No, okay. So hey, if you're if you're super duper new to this, and you're selling cards, go through and at least everything with a colored expansion symbol. Pull out the oranges and the golds. And hey, if you're not that new, but you're kind of new and you want to buy a collection, ever since COVID, and I don't want to hang out in a Burger King for 2 hours sorting through someone's cards because I don't want to be breathing the same air as a stranger. What I like to do is ask them how many gold and orange expansion symbols there are, and I ask them to pull them out so at least I can thumb through the stack versus thumbing through their entire collection. So that's a big time saver, and you tell them those are the valuable ones and they're like, oh, okay, I'll pull them out for you. 100% of the people have been super cool about that. I don't have to handle their cards that much, and they'll tell me if they have like 40,000 cards and there's 40 rares, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying $350 like you want. So
yeah, exactly.
That's a big time saver. It'll save you time when you're selling. It'll save you time when you're buying. Just have all the rares and mythics yanked out, all ready to go. And that's how you don't have Gaius Cradles in your bulk when you sell them to Corbin.
Please don't sell me your Gaius Cradle. I request that you do not. All right, it is time for Pick of the Week.
I told you that this was going to happen, didn't I?
You did, but you know what? We had a nice little aside there that had some good, some good talk, some good information. It wasn't quite back to back, not quite.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Like there was a year between Speed and Speed 2.
I will go first. My pick of the week is predicated on Kamigawa coming up sooner than you think it is. We're going to have the holidays. We're going to have 2022 upon us, and then it's going to be Kamigawa spoilers.
Oh, when is that? Is that like next February or something?
Probably, man. I don't know. I know that we'll probably get a Kamigawa spoiler before Wizards goes on break for Christmas just to start the hype train or something like that.
Yeah, it comes out on February 18th, 2022, right around the corner.
So my pick of the week is Maronar. This was in Mystery Booster Retail Edition as a foil. It also has a, I think it has another printing. I don't know. I'm picking the Mystery Booster one anyway. It doesn't matter. That one is very cheap. And, there are not a ton of tribes that aged well from Kamigawa. Rats has sort of been one of them. Not a lot of the rats from original Kamigawa sort of stay up to par. Maronar is one of them. It is the legendary one. It is the one that makes more rats. It gives all your rats fear. And I think that we're obviously not going to see Maronar itself, but this card could easily spike if they bring back rats as a tribe.
So you think they have rats in the future?
They're sentient.
You don't think there will be a crossover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where
no, there probably will be.
Creates robots in the future that eat rats?
There probably will
if they
be.
do, then I would suggest doubling down and buying the Shredder.
If there's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover Secret Lair, it better be modeled off of the movies.
It won't be a
90s.
Secret Lair; it'll be an entire standard legal set.
Entire standard legal set. As long as it's modeled off the world from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, the original movie, not anything else.
Not Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, where there's a
Secret of the Ooze,
where they're like Bebop and Rocksteady. No, we're just gonna make up a snapping turtle in like a dinosaur fur-covered monster thing.
Yeah,
and then
very different vibes between Ninja Turtles 1 and 2. Less Vanilla Ice in Ninja Turtles 1.
Yeah, it needed just a soupçon of Vanilla Ice, I think.
All right, well, Maronar does seem like, I mean, rats are pretty popular. I'm going to come in with a mythic from Zendikar Rising, Morog, Fury of Akum.
Is this card cheap now?
Well, it's $4. And what's interesting about the card is that the showcase version of it is actually, I mean, it's basically the same, but the market price on the showcase version is actually less than the market price on the just regular version of the card, which is interesting, but they're all about $4 to $4.50. And look, it's just this is the creature, whenever land falls, you get an additional combat phase after your main phase, so you get an additional, and it's a 6/6. And it's a Minotaur. And your creatures get +1/0 for each time. It's just got all the words because it's a mythic from a set in the past 2 years. But at $4 for an extra combat step, on a big body creature like this, it seems pretty powerful.
What does the graph say on this card on MTG stocks? If I can spell, how do you spell Morag? What the
Moraug, baby?
Yeah, it's been fairly flat. It seems like it's bottomed out. That's why I'm looking at this card. It's gone up. It's just basically been flat and bottoming out over the past couple months. And it just seems like, well, Zendikar Rising is pretty far in the rearview mirror now. And it's just a powerful recent mythic. It may or may not do anything, but it's good.
This card did just get reprinted in something.
So according to MTG Stocks, our generous sponsor, there are miscellaneous promos, the pre-release version, a promo pack, and the Zendikar Rising extra version. But I don't know, man. Frankly, when it comes to this, and we start talking about every card's getting reprinted, if it got reprinted in something recently, it'll be cheaper.
I don't know what this miscellaneous promo is. Based on the set symbol, it looks like it's the same thing as the Chandra. I know Chandra Torch of Defiance recently got a reprint where they errated like the wording and they updated her to just say add 2 instead of add 2 in your mana pool. So like there was some red product that had I know Chandra Torch of Defiance got a reprint. That's all I know. And so
I'm with you.
This is probably in the same product as that. I don't know what this promo is from. But like you said, it's probably something relatively low supply. So 4 seems fine. This is either going to be a $4 card forever, or it's going to be a $20 card next year. One of those two things.
It's just definitely not going to be $2.
Correct. Yes.
Unless it just hits with at rare or whatever, right? But I doubt that. All right, Jason, what do you got?
I got a card. This is a Corbin pick because it's currently drawing up. Grim Hireling. From AFR Commander. I didn't like it because I don't like cards that say whenever you deal combat damage. You know, because I think that narrows the number of decks that can go into like rogues and evasive stuff. But for whatever reason, Grim Hireling is kind of popping off. Somebody made a Reddit post where they were very incredulous that this was a $5 card, and it won't be for much longer. Get your Grim Hirelings under $10 while you still can.
There's one list, like there's no listings on TCG Player under 10 right now,
which is crazy. Well, there's a couple near mints under 10 on TCG, but what's crazy is like the other sites still have it. Like TCG Player sold out before sites like Card Kingdom.
TCG Player is gone, so I would recommend that's certainly a card that you can, if you have access to the spreadsheet, you get it early, and there are likely copies out there on the internet.
I'm seeing copies not on TCG Player tonight. So if you are someone who goes to patreon.com/BSB, gets the cast a little bit early, you probably still have the ability to snag some copies, whereas others probably not. They're still gettable under 10, or I would not mention it. I'm just trying to juice my stats for the end of the year when I'm going to crush these two on cards that went up. I said Abundance at 2, and now that's 20. So like I'm already winning.
I wish this card was 3 mana.
Yeah, so Grim Hireling's 4 mana. It's a I don't know how to say this, tiefling rogue.
Tiefling.
So Tiefling is what we think. Well, maybe not. I guess we think it could be what they're going to call hobbits in the Lord of Rings set. So the
it's
creature
a devil.
Type
it's got horns and he's red. What are you talking about, hobbits?
Look, man. I just know that when AFR came out, people talked about hobbits might be tieflings in Magic lore.
All right, I can dig it.
Look, I don't know. I just know that was the thing that was said. But the point is that creature type could become relevant, and of course, it has the treasure synergy. That is the reason it's popping, I assume. But also maybe low supply. I don't know about the commander. Like, I don't know how much of some. There's so many commander precons now.
Maybe
we don't actually know how many get out there of each. Like, if no one likes a particular one, the least popular commander set.
Prosper deck. That was the one people liked.
Well, there you go. I guess that's this might just not be a lot of supply out there for a card to pop like this hard, this fast. This card was printed just 4 months ago.
Yeah,
that's very recent. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. And of course, you can always find more information about our picks at our sponsor, mtgstocks.com. We also want to give a shout out to Card Sage, who's working with MTG Stocks on their new premium content, which you can access at mtgstocks.com, and you should. But you can also go find Card Sage on Twitter. They're giving away a booster box if you want to retweet a tweet. Check out them. Check out MTG Stocks. Check out the memberships on MTG Stocks. It is well worth it from our perspective. Everybody, thank you so much for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. Reminder, our end of the year Patreon rewards at patreon.com/BSB are up, and we've got some sweet stuff in the works for anybody who's locked in now. You want to get in now. So everybody, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.